Welcome to the Grassroots Hotline, where we hear real problems from real people in grassroots football. I'm Jordan, this is Rohan, and also we have our producer, Morgan. Now, our editor, Prash, for our very first show, has made us a little jingle. None of us have heard it, so I think we should have a little listen. What do we reckon? Ooh, I like it. To me, it feels like it should be for a detective show.
I suppose it's a game show. It's like the entrance to a game show. I feel like I'm about to play Tenables or something.
Yeah.
It's very groovy.
It is groovy, but I don't know whether it suits the grassroots football tone.
Can we have it again? I feel like I need to really...
Let's hear it again.
I feel like I need to come off the back of it and go, grassroots football, really energetic.
Yeah. It's uplifting though, isn't it?
It is, it's quite bouncy. Prash, I would like you to make us a second option if that's okay, just so we can have a choice. We'll listen to it next episode, and then we can decide on the jingle going forward. Does that sound okay to everyone?
The boss has spoken apparently, so you don't have a choice.
Anything, I'm not the boss, he's the boss, so it'll be his decision that actually counts. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be hearing dilemmas from people in grassroots football. Can be absolutely anything. Could be parents, clubs, players, referees, the full shebang. And one of us is very well qualified to give answers on it, given that, Rohan, you've created a grassroots football app.
Yep.
And Morgan, well, we're here.
We're just here to be here.
We're here to be here. With that said, let's get into it.
What's the name of the section again?
Grassroots Dilemmas.
Yeah. Grassroots Dilemmas.
So, Rohan, would you like to pick out the first grassroots dilemma?
I will do, yes. I play Sunday League for one simple reason. I enjoy it. I work all week, I've got a stressful job, and football is the one thing that lets me switch off. I'm not the fittest, so I just want a run out, a laugh, and a pint afterwards. But lately I can tell one of the lads is getting wound up with me. He's proper serious about it. When I misplace a pass or don't track back fast enough, I can feel him staring at me. If I smile or make a joke after a mistake, he looks like he wants to explode. I'm not trying to ruin anything. I put in effort, I don't moan, I turn up every week. I just don't want football to feel like another job. How do you keep football fun when someone on your own team treats you like you're letting the whole squad down? Difficult one. I will say, actually, that player that gets annoyed at people is also me, so I can empathise with him.
Would you say so?
Yeah. Because the thing is, if I'm like Sunday League, if I'm paying to play, I want to play a decent level of football, but then I also understand that like that's my fault for not being good enough to play in the Champions League, and this is Sunday League, and so I kind of need to like rein it in a little bit as well. But I mean, it's about enjoyment, right? Sunday League.
See, I'm surprised that you said that you're the guy who takes it seriously, because I remember a time when we were playing five-a-side, and obviously I'm not the fittest, so we need everyone in our team to be able to contribute. And Rohan just went and had a chat with a guy on the side of the pitch. I was like, we're playing with four. With me, we're playing with three, effectively. So I was like, right, switch teams. And what does he do? Obviously, starts trying, and we get absolutely battered. It's probably the best I've ever seen you play.
I remember that game. It was Goldman that turned up, and I hadn't seen him in years, so I had a chat with him. And then, we switched teams. And I remember I had an assist outside of the left boot, whipped it right round, the guy just bagged it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so...
I think I had that volley as well, and the keeper, saved it, and it was going top bins.
I think I was the keeper.
I think
I was the keeper.
Yeah. Fuming about that one. But, no, I think when it's a team game, though, as in, on an 11-a-side pitch... I am that guy. I just get a bit wound up, and then if I lose my head, I'll also see red, and then I'll start either screaming at people or snapping people and getting subbed off immediately from the manager. So it's one of the two.
Is that your advice to
no,
this person?
No, my advice to this person is to carry on doing what they're doing. Like Sunday League needs that kind of thing, right? It's about grassroots football. It's about playing. I think it's more a case of people like me ruining it, actually, because it is about enjoyment. You've turned up, you've played. It is like a relief from general football. And actually, I think they just need to enjoy themselves, carry on doing what he's doing. He's turning up every week. He's paying his dues. It's a social environment, right? That's what football should be. And I think if you polled every other person on that pitch, that is what they would do. And that's what they're there for as well. I think It's really hard though, because you don't want to say to somebody like stop playing or don't take it seriously, because at the end of the day it is a competitive game. You're generally playing in a league environment where you're on a table. If you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, you don't. But I think every team has that balance where you need people to make it competitive, because otherwise you probably wouldn't turn up to compete in the first place, to give you that relief. And I also think that whatever's said on a pitch, my rule was like it stays on the pitch, and as soon as you leave, everything is absolutely fine, and like you don't take that with you. If that isn't happening, that's different. But if that is happening, it's just something that goes on a football match. Everyone deals with things differently, so like that was my relief of like almost like shouting at other people. And then as soon as we crossed that white line, that was over and everything was fine.
So I would say it depends on what the vibe of the whole team is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because if everyone else is there to take it really seriously, and you're just sort of not taking the mick, because this guy doesn't sound like he's taking the mick, it just sounds like he doesn't take it that seriously and he's there for a laugh. But if everyone else is taking it really seriously, I think that's maybe something that you need to consider and go, actually, should I find a different team that's more suited to my needs?
Yeah, but I also think same for the bloke who's getting annoyed. Like, I always used to think like I'm an absolute plonker because I'm the only person that is getting annoyed and everyone else is like smiling, having a good time. You know, even if someone puts a tackle in you, like the opposition team, they're picking each other up, they're having a laugh about it, they're apologising to each other, whereas I'm there like getting angry about it. So I think that is more on the person that is getting annoyed, and it sounds like that person is the only person, because the person that's messaged in isn't saying that everybody's doing it. It's just one bloke. But yeah, I mean, I say that, but also when I was part of a Sunday League team a couple of seasons ago, I was similarly that bloke that did not care whatsoever, and I actually probably ruined it for other people that did want to take it seriously. So it is definitely that fine balance of making sure you've got the vibe of the team right and going from there.
So what's the advice then to this guy? How does he go about dealing with it?
It's hard, right? Because you can't tell somebody else how to behave. And if you do, it generally will probably make... We always hear like people behave like kids. Like you tell them what to do, then they'll probably do the opposite of what you say. I think it's just figuring out what is good, what isn't good, what are you comfortable with, and then maybe getting other teammates to also back you up if you need to, or just kind of have a quiet word with somebody. But equally, it is probably a case of if it's just on a pitch and nothing else after that, just enjoy your football, crack on. It's probably just how that person deals with the footballing environment, and kind of don't take it to heart. But if it does reduce the enjoyment, then yeah, potentially find another team or speak to everybody else. And if it's reducing the enjoyment for them as well, then see if this player maybe wants to move to a different team that is perhaps at the level that this person thinks that they're at, which is what sounds like is happening.
Morgan, what would you say is the best thing to do here?
I think, as they said, it was one individual. It's probably not the vibe of the team to be taking it all serious. So I think there's not much he can do. He can probably just keep playing, keeping fit, and then just keep enjoying the game.
How do you play, Morgan? Are you serious or are you...
I just don't care.
Feels quite on brand.
Very on brand, yeah.
I can't imagine Morgan losing his head with his teammates.
What position would you play in?
Haven't played recently, but I used to play just anywhere. I used to have a little bit of
The
pace,
classic Sunday League,
so
the classic.
anywhere on the side, so I could just run up and down.
So winger, wing back, right back,
Yeah.
or left back, yeah. Okay,
Pretty
nice.
much.
I think we should start our own team at some point, by the way. The difficulty is that Morgan lives in Newcastle, so he would have to travel down.
Do we have the players for it?
Yeah, I think we do. We've at least got
Sweeper.
a five-a-side team. I'm not a sweeper. Well, actually, in five-a-side I am, because I just sit back. I don't want to
do nothing.
No, well, actually, I read the game really well. Thanks very much.
It's the most infuriating thing, because when you're playing five-a-side, right, everyone is running, you're putting the mileage in, and Jordan has just sat there doing absolutely nothing, except for just like, when people have finally got past somebody, he'll just wally it and just get it out.
Well, the thing is, in football, there's no right way of playing. In fact, no, there is. The right way of playing is the way that wins games.
It's funny because this dilemma that this person's talking about, we've now just come straight onto that, where I'm like, stop doing what you're doing.
I'm just there to enjoy it.
Yeah. No, it's true.
But for me, I can't keep up a high press. I just don't have the energy levels. So I'd rather play a deep block. I know this is mad to say, it's five-a-side deep block. But my teams generally defend quite well, because I say, just stay in shape.
But isn't that what football's about? Like running and fitness and enjoying it. And like, you're sucking out the enjoyment for the other 9 people on that pitch.
I'm sucking out the enjoyment for the opposition who can't score.
It's true, actually.
Yeah.
Because when I'm on your team, then it's quite fun because I'm like, all right, we can just go forward.
I'll just stay back.
Yeah.
No worries. You go enjoy yourself. I'll stay back and limit the chances.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so we've got you as sweeper, Prash on the wing / up top. Although you have a habit of just not staying in a position and then just ending up at centre-back next to Jordan.
The difficulty with speaking to Prash is that he doesn't have a microphone. So we could say anything and he's just got to be silent about it.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah, let's keep him quiet. So we've got Morgan anywhere on the wings.
Anyone? No, on the
Five-a-side,
sides.
it's different.
On the sides.
On the sides, yeah.
I think five-a-side, I like to sit at the back.
Okay.
All right, great. So we've just got
We've got a team of defenders.
Yeah.
You're also a defender by trade.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
I can also be keeper five-a-side.
All right,
Okay.
that works. No one wants to go in net, so
Yeah.
that's handy.
Right, and then who've we got? Jack,
Ben
Carl, Ben.
midfield.
Yeah.
Jack's actually a tricky little winger, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
I don't think I've ever played football with Jack.
He's decent. Where would Laura play? I feel like Laura's a centre mid.
Potentially. I think this is at risk of becoming an internal podcast where we just put it on our Slack channels because no one knows who any of these people
It's
are.
true.
So just to bring it back to the dilemma, if it was me, I would take the person aside and say, look, I can sense that you're getting annoyed with me and I appreciate you here because you want to play well, you want to win. You know it's not the Champions League, but you still want to win, which is fair enough. That sounds like what you're like, Rohan. But just so you know, I'm not taking the mick out of you. Like I also want to win, but I'm not here to be too militant about it.
Yeah, but also I don't want to be taken to the side. Like I'm also paying to play, so if I want to have a good time, I'm going to have a good time, and my way of having a good time is trying to lift everyone's standards. You know, it's like taking somebody to the side and having a word is also, we're not in a Premier League dressing room where you're speaking with people and being like, do this, do that. It's just, we're all paying to play, get on with it or leave the team type of thing, in my opinion.
I think that's a bit ruthless for Sunday League.
Yeah, exactly.
Communication's important. I would rather get it out in the open at least rather than just let it silently fester.
You can get out in the open, but just say it in front of everyone. Then if the whole team knows, the whole team knows. That's generally how these things are done.
Interesting.
Why
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Morgan, why don't you come down on one side of our arguments? Which do you think is the best way of dealing with it from what you've heard?
I think the best way is just let carry on going as it is. Everyone's paying,
Come on, Morgan.
everyone's choice is to be there. If they want to chill or be angry at other people, then it's their choice.
Yeah,
As long as it doesn't cause any big arguments, big upsets, I think it's all fine.
So not mention anything, say what Rohan was saying.
Yeah, just carry on as you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, as long as it doesn't cross a line. Like if it crosses a line, then that's different.
Right. Just for full disclosure, Rohan pays Morgan's wages. So if he comes down on his side, that might be something to do with it.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. Dilemma number 2. I'm the assistant for an under-11s team. The head coach is passionate, but his temper is getting worse. When a player makes a mistake, he snaps. Kids shut down. I've tried stepping in gently, but he takes it as criticism. I don't want to walk away from the boys, but something isn't right here. How do I deal with him?
This is the worst thing in the world. Terrible. 10-year-olds and an adult is getting angry at a 10-year-old for misplacing a pass or something like that. Lunacy.
That person shouldn't be involved.
Should not be involved in football. And the craziest thing is, when you look at it, under 11s is generally the age group where that happens the most.
Really?
It's absolutely bonkers, yeah. So you've got most people, 10 or 11 years old, who are basically either being abused from the sidelines, whether that's the manager or the parent, because they think that their kid is the next Messi or Ronaldo. And in reality, they aren't, let's be fair, because they've probably been in an academy. Nowadays, academies pick people up at 6 or 7 years old, and if they've not been picked up at that point, the likelihood is really small that they're going to. So just let the kids play, let them develop, let them enjoy themselves. And I think as soon as you get a manager on the sidelines who's getting annoyed at kids, and if you're the assistant and you've picked up on it, parents have probably picked up on it as well, and they're probably not as comfortable either. The club at children's football have a duty of care, and they all generally will have a welfare officer. You need to go into them. You need to tell them that person needs removing from grassroots football. They are not welcome in the game if they are berating 10-year-olds, because it's not just their own team. What about the opposition team? What about the young referee that's going to do that game? What about the other parents on the sidelines? All the other volunteers that have made that happen? That one person is an absolute disgrace. and should never be near a football pitch again unless they change their behaviour.
Another thing I should say, because I obviously totally agree with what you're saying, but in that message it says, I don't want to leave the boys. So the person getting in touch concerned about the coach being angry, he's saying, I don't want to leave the boys. You can't leave them. Like, you've got to stay with them. You're the positive influence, and you're the person who's noticed this behaviour.
Agree.
And you're the one that actually has a lot of responsibility here to protect the children. You know, parents, when they pay for their kids to go to grassroots football, they think it's going to be in a safe environment, in one that their children are going to thrive and enjoy. That's the main thing in grassroots football. If you leave, you're just basically leaving them with that coach.
And like at that point, they have no positive influence at all. All they're going to receive is negativity. And if the coach is taking it as criticism each time, they're going to need to be removed at some point, because they're not going to remove themselves, quite clearly, because they're not willing to listen or go on some sort of educational journey. And so I think that is the point. You're spot on. Like that assistant cannot leave those kids in that position. It will get worse. It will fester. But then the worst thing is the kids will learn that that's normal behaviour, or they'll think that that's normal behaviour, unless their parents are, in the car home talking about it, whatever it may be. But generally speaking, you kind of spot in trends that when that's happening at the younger age groups, it continues all the way through until they're 16, 17. And that's where the problems start. Like, you've got to deal with it at that point. So yeah, that assistant should not leave. They've got to deal with it. Quite often it's things like having a word with the parents, seeing if they feel the same. And as a group of them, maybe quietly going to the club welfare officer and let them deal with it. You don't need to be the person that is almost like the fall guy that is dealing with that manager yourself. Let the club deal with it. They will deal with it as well, especially if it comes to child welfare. I think it's the one thing that in football, like, alarm bells immediately start ringing, and it's the most critical and urgent thing that is stamped up. Because if you take that forward, if kids stop enjoying it, if parents stop enjoying it, they'll stop being a member of the club. They'll stop paying their subscriptions, and that then puts the club at risk. So it's not just the fact that those kids are potentially not going to have a team to play in, or they're going to have a negative influence around them. It's also the club, which is often the heartbeat of that community, is going to lose out on their memberships, and as a result they're going to have less income, less revenues, development will decrease, education will decrease, facilities will drop off. There's like this massive impact just from that one person behaving badly and having a negative influence on everybody else, that will actually then potentially spiral and snowball and impact the club in other ways that you probably didn't even imagine happening. So really and truly, that person needs removing. That manager, the assistant manager, should not go anywhere. They need to try and stamp it out. And there's so many ways they can do it without them being, the person that feels like they're kind of reporting or telling on someone. Because I think that's also something that I hear quite a lot in grassroots, is they don't want to be the snitch almost. And I think people have got to realise that it's not about snitching. This is about protecting children. And if it was their child on a pitch, I'm almost certain they wouldn't want their kid being spoken to in the way that it sounds like the manager is speaking to the boys or girls in this team.
100%. I'm surprised that a parent hasn't already said something, because unless it's one of them where
sometimes they're just as bad.
What, the parents?
Yeah, sometimes they're just as bad. And that's the worst part, because when you have that where you've got the manager doing it and the parents doing it, you've got this mix where the only way to solve that is to basically just almost dissolve the team. And so actually this one dilemma is a massive problem across the whole of football. And it's on all of us as like the kind of footballing family to tackle it together, where we all have to say, right, we're making a stand now. If we see this, if we spot this, we need to make sure that everyone's aware of the mechanisms to deal with it, because it has to stop. It really has to stop, because all that's going to happen is people will stop wanting to play. They'll move into different sports instead. And that's solely because parents don't want their kids in that kind of environment. And so they'll pick a different sport for them. And that's something that doesn't resonate. Like, we need participation to be going up, not down.
What if the club doesn't have a welfare officer? Because I would assume that some teams, I mean, we know of clubs where you've literally just got one team and it's just a parent that started it. You might have two coaches. What would be the best way then of approaching this?
So generally, if they're in a league which is affiliated with the FA or their local county FA, they will have a welfare officer.
They have to.
They have to.
Right.
And so that generally means that in that structure that we're talking about, there is always a welfare officer, or there is a point of contact that is responsible for child welfare. That may be the club secretary, who's got a dual role. Often it is somebody separate who is, and they're all volunteers, by the way. So they might be doing it on top of a day job where they work in safeguarding, they work in welfare, they work in some sort of job where they are passionate about child protection. Equally, they might not be working in that job, but that's the role that they've taken on as a volunteer. And they have lots of mechanisms working with the leagues and the counties directly to be able to identify, track, trace, and deal with these individuals in a way that an assistant manager or a parent maybe isn't aware of. So these are the people you need to be telling. They're the people that will log it and will make sure that that is in a system. And off the back of that, hopefully, we should be removing these people from football, or at least being aware of who they are. That's the first thing, is like, I think we're in a position now where we're going on that journey. So the awareness of who these people are is difficult. But the other problem is that if that manager leaves that team and goes to a new team, it's hard to trace what the historical behaviour was like unless you go to that club and ask for a reference and ask for what's their character like, etc. Which, again, if people are volunteers and they don't have the time to do that, and time is the big limiting factor here, then there is a risk that the manager will just get another one and another one and another one, and they'll never really learn what good behaviour looks like. And that's something separate. And how we tackle that, I think the only real mechanism is technology, to be able to kind of trace people's journey through where they go in football. But that's a bigger and different conversation. So in this dilemma, club welfare officer is the person you want to be going into, and let them deal with it and keep them aware. But I think the other thing is, whenever you spot the manager talking to somebody in a negative way or whatever, just take some notes. When was it? Where was it? What did they say? Who did they say it to? Make sure you've got a record of pretty much everything that's gone on, or as much as you can gather, because at some point that will be needed, because invariably they will need to put a report in. That report needs to contain evidence. It's essentially like a judicial process. And that sounds scary, but it's not quite as serious as that. But essentially that's what needs to happen. And without evidence, these things generally go away. And we hear about this as well, where the counties or the clubs want to deal with people, but if there's no substance to what's happened, they can't. And so keeping a track of what's actually gone on is just as important as well.
Dilemma number 3.
Number 3. 3, by the way, is the amount of goals that Liverpool are shipping in every single game at the moment. It's an absolute travesty. Anyway, I'm really stuck. One of the parents has completely stopped paying. Oh, we hear this a lot. One of my players' parents promised back in March that they'd double up their payments as they were a few months behind. I agreed, thinking it would sort itself out. But since then, nothing. Not a single payment. I'm in a complete dilemma. I don't want to punish the child, as it's not their fault, but it's not currently sustainable financially. I'm not a confrontational person, so I've tried being friendly, made a few jokes to lighten the mood, but I just can't bring myself to be the angry coach type. It's not in my nature. The problem is, I've only got 7 players in total, so finances were already stretched thin before this even happened. I'm honestly not sure what to do next. Has anyone else dealt with this kind of situation? Any advice would really help. I mean, this is, again, another issue that we see in grassroots football all the time. We were speaking to Amir the other day, and he was saying that the club is in a position where often he's had to dip into his own pocket to be able to fund it. I think really the issue here is that if you're right, you don't want to stop that child from playing football, but equally, again, the knock-on effect that nobody thinks about is if that child isn't paying, somebody else has to make up for that somewhere else. Whether that's the coach paying for it themselves, which I don't think is fair, whether it's the club that are just accepting that it's a loss, but that needs to be an agreement between the parent and the club, and they need to be aware of that, not just silence. But the other thing is the next season, to deal with the losses that the club have made, as with any organisation that needs to, cover their own costs, they're going to need to put membership costs up. So every other player and every other parent is then going to get impacted because prices have to go up to cover the people that haven't paid, which is totally unfair. So you're saying that for the one person or the one child that you do want to play, you're now impacting potentially a few hundred kids or their parents or their families. And, we talk about football being played by people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. They don't have as much disposable cash. So already, the costs may be prohibitive for some families. And if that is the case, then fine. But if you've promised to a team who has already only got 7 players that are paying, that you're going to start paying, and then you don't, that's just wrong. So I think for that manager, and that they don't want to be the angry coach, but either get the club secretary involved and let them handle it. If that manager is the club secretary or is responsible themselves, then I think, unfortunately, you've got to take an approach of either we need a payment plan, even if it's £1 a week or £2 a week or something super affordable, but they have to start making it up over a period of time. Or I think for the sake of the team, you've just got to turn around and say, we're going to have to cut our losses. Your child can't play football anymore. They can't come to our club or our team, and you'll find somebody else that will. And that's a difficult conversation to have. But I think it has to happen because it's not fair for for everybody else to be impacted by that one person. The kid often, if they're playing with their friends, if they're used to their teammates, quite often you'll see the parent will find a way to make that happen. And if they can't because of financial reasons, they need to tell you that. They can't just hide behind a screen or be jovial about it and make jokes and promise that they'll do something, but then actually not. They've got to say something and be held to it. So I think always putting things in writing, black and white, getting some sort of plan in place, even if it's affordable, or saying, they can't play anymore, whatever it may be, I think really they're the only options that you've had. Otherwise, it's going to snowball and become a much bigger problem and impact a lot more people. And that's what we've seen from dealing with lots of clubs. But often in the moment, you don't think of those things because you just think about that one kid playing in this one game.
Yeah, I was going to say that. See, because it's such a tricky dilemma, and I obviously see all the points that you've made as like logical and good steps to help, but you're someone who's very good at seeing the helicopter view and looking at the bigger picture, whereas if I was that club secretary or the manager, whoever's dealing with this issue, I would just think of that one kid who, through no fault of their own, let's say it's a 7 or 8 year old kid who just loves playing football with their friends, being the person that tells them effectively they can't play anymore because mummy or daddy haven't paid their fees. Like, that's a really hard thing to do, like from an emotional point of view.
It is. And I'm not saying that has to happen. But what I'm saying is that the parent in this situation, they're responsible. They can't have their cake and eat it. They can't turn around in one hand and say, yeah, we'll pay, and then just be silent and never tell you when they're going to pay. That's not fair either on the club. So I'm not saying you have to stop the kid from paying, but at least get the parents to tell you if they're in a position of financial difficulty. There are so many clubs that deal with kids in that situation, and they often do not stop them from playing. They just need to be aware of it, because once they're aware, they'll stop chasing. They'll figure out a different way. They'll get more clubs. They'll get more kids in the team to kind of cover it, or they'll find a sponsor that might be able to pay for it. There's lots of means to be able to support that person. But when they don't know what's going on and they're receiving false promises, that's when I get annoyed, because that's not fair. It's absolute nonsense. That would not wash in any other walk of life, but football seems to have this different way in which it's handled, which is ridiculous, to be honest with you, because it's again, the knock-on effect is you've got a volunteer spending more time chasing money. They've got other stuff to be doing. And I just think it's something where the conversation needs to be had. And what happens after that conversation is up to the club, but they need to be aware of it to be able to deal with it. I coach an under-11s team and I need some honest advice. Not about the players, about my own son. Everyone talks about the coach's kid being the one who plays every minute, takes every kick, gets the praise. Mine is the complete opposite. He's quiet, he's unsure of himself, and half the time he looks like he's trying not to be noticed. He's grown up listening to me praise his teammates because I've always been careful not to show favouritism. When I hand out trophies, they go to other kids. When I praise good performances, he brushes it off. If I tell him he's done well, he says, "You're only saying that because you're my dad." Now I'm stuck. How do I help him enjoy football and build confidence when I'm both dad and coach? How do I balance supporting him without swinging too far the other way and looking like I'm favouring him? Any advice would help. Well, I mean, to start, give him a trophy, I think. Yeah,
yeah, that might help.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
But what if he sees it as you just doing that because you're my dad? Like, it sounds like he switched onto it.
I mean, listen, right? We're not dads here, so it's hard to give any advice. But I feel like if you're giving kids, if it's equal, where kids are getting praise, sons getting praise, kids are getting trophies, sons getting trophies, it's pretty balanced, right? Whereas if you're like fully praising someone or not praising them at all, or giving trophies to everybody but your kid, you're kind of swinging either way, right? It's like a pendulum, whereas you kind of need to be pretty central with it.
But obviously this guy...
Hard to do.
Yeah, this guy
is... Dad and coach are two very distinct roles.
I've had it growing up playing grassroots football where you've had the coach and his son is definitely favoured, like playing centre mid, wears number 7.
Plays every minute of every game, never gets subbed off.
And the kid,
captain of the team, is crap.
Well, the kid in my case was good. Like, I got it, but you still have that tag of being the coach's kid, and you know that there's an element of favoritism there.
Yeah.
So at least this coach is wary of that. It sounds like someone who's conscious of how
Gone the other way
people
almost.
perceive him. Yeah, but you just need to be careful of that, don't
Make
you?
him captain.
Yeah, maybe. It's just something that, look, it's all about enjoyment, right? You just want the kids to enjoy themselves. So it's a really tricky one because I've never seen it from this side of the coin. I've never been the coach's kid. I've only ever seen the coach and his kid.
My dad never turned up.
It's not that sort of podcast, mate. It's not therapy. But yeah, I've never actually considered this, and it is a difficult one because the coach can be pretty sure that they're just doing the right thing by the majority of the people, but you also do need to be a dad to your kid. So I don't know how you... It's a really tricky one to go about solving.
You can give them the player of the year, so it's a vote, and it's not just given by the manager.
But what if they don't win it?
But then that doesn't matter. it's just giving them a trophy.
But what if the players then tell him, like, mate, I didn't vote for you? And then he goes and speaks to his teammates, and they're like, I didn't vote for you, I didn't vote. And then he's like, Dad.
Yeah, that's even worse.
So you're suggesting this coach, who's very wary of how they come across, rigs the players' player of the year vote for their son?
Well, yeah.
Hard to argue, mate. Great logic.
It's a trophy without thinking, it just came from my dad.
It is, right. Do you know what? I do think he's onto something.
Yeah, he is onto something.
Because you should just speak to one of the fellow parents and just explain the situation. Say, I don't want to show favoritism to my kid, but he's not believing me when I'm giving him or her praise. So would you mind just giving my kids some confidence and praising their play when justified? And then if it comes from someone else, then they're more likely to believe it, right?
It's true. I think that's definitely true. Because, it sounds like the thing is obviously dad, kind of like separating between dad and coach. So if somebody else is doing it, then that kind of solves that problem for you.
Yeah. You just got to be confident. You just got to go up to someone and explain the situation. They'll be grateful, I'm sure, that you are being mindful of how you're coming across.
I mean, in a club as well, though, often, obviously depending on the size, but there might be other teams in the age group, more of a solutions thing, but you could try and just put them in a different team for a couple of weeks, see if that builds confidence. It might go the other way. You never know. But I feel like you'd have that conversation beforehand and figure out where they'd fit in. I'm trying to think what else you could do. Give him a job like, responsible for the cones or the corner flags or the nets.
Turn him into a workhorse. Turn him into
I
an
feel like if
assistant.
someone's got responsibility that's not footballing related, but still associated with football, then it might kind of make them feel like they've got...
Yeah, but the kid just wants to play and enjoy themselves. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Just take away that... Do you know what? Maybe just for a few weeks, just go the other way a little bit.
Or that coach needs to get another coach in for that team rather than moving the kid to a different team. Maybe the dad swaps teams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is all of our grassroots dilemmas for this week. If you do have any, get in touch with us at Centre Circle app on all social platforms, and we'll put them on the next show.
Centre Circle's Grassroots Star of the Week.
Right, so every week we are going to be going through some nominations for the Grassroots Star of the Week. This one, well, we've got a clear winner. We noticed a message on social media, and I'm just going to read it to you. This Sunday was the last game for our Range Rovers under-15s goalkeeper Bronx Morley before he heads in for further surgery. Bronx had surgery in July 2022 to remove a brain tumour. The operation had complications and he became seriously unwell after developing acute pneumonia in both lungs. Over the summer of that year, as he recovered, he ended up in the park with his mates having a go at football, despite his mum's nerves. He had never played football before, but joined Range Rovers soon after and instantly showed the determination and strength everyone now knows him for. Although around 70% of the tumour was removed, recent scans have shown the tumour has grown back to a similar size, and now is the right time for another operation. Through all of this, Bronx has been incredible. His first question to the medical team last week, when can I get back to football?
Go on.
His goal is already set, back in February, ready to lift the trophy. That's Bronx all over, courageous, focused and full of heart. The entire Range Rovers family and grassroots community is behind you, Bronx. We send all our love and support and strength to you and your family. A natural in goal, a warrior in life. And just to echo that, Bronx, everyone at Centre Circle wishes you a speedy recovery.
Go on, Bronx.
Can't wait to see you back on the pitch. You are our Grassroots Star of the Week.
Quiz of the Week.
Right, every week we are going to finish the show on a light note where we will be doing a football quiz. Rohan and I have no idea what's coming up. It could be absolutely anything. We've left it to Morgan and Prash to sort out. So, Morgan, you're in charge of the quiz.
Right, so it's called head-to-head. You've got to guess a player or a team, but you can only ask yes or no questions. We'll go one at a time, and if once you get a question wrong, it goes to the next person.
Oh, I'm going to go whitewashed. But okay, let's have it.
So, what, are you thinking of a football player?
Yeah.
And if we ask a question and the answer's yes...
That's correct. If the answer is no, that's wrong.
And then do we get another question?
I know that, mate. I know what yes and no mean, but is it every time? If I get a yes answer, I get another question.
You carry on until the answer is no.
Okay. Right.
At what point do you guess? Just whenever? I guess that would be a no or a yes, right?
If you say
yeah. A guess is effectively a question.
Yeah. I got
okay.
You.
All right, so we'll start with a player. Who wants to go first?
Jordan can.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the player in Europe's top 5 leagues?
Define Europe's top 5 leagues.
French, German, Spanish, Italian, or English Premier League? Morgan doesn't know, so he's having to ask
I'm
Prash.
trying to remember.
Prash, you can give him a yes or a no nod if that's helpful. You don't need to. You don't need to whisper.
Yeah, you can just speak.
The audience knows you're here.
Quick Google search. Prash has got absolutely no idea either. This is a shambles of a quiz.
What a terrible quiz!
That's like the most basic question you would start with as well.
It's no.
Great.
No.
We're done for it.
Are they playing in America?
No.
Do they play in one of Portugal, Saudi Arabia, or Turkey?
Yes.
Do they play in Portugal or Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Do they play in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Do they play for one of Al Nassr or Al Ittihad?
Quick Google search.
1 second. Yes.
Oh. Do they play for Al Nassr?
No.
Oh, no, I've given you so much info.
Etihad. Is this person a striker?
No.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of Al Ittihad players. Has this person played for Chelsea?
No.
Is this person a defender?
Wait, I've got the team wrong.
What do you mean?
You're literally reading
You're
it.
reading it up.
I wasn't reading the team at the time.
Then why did you answer yes or no?
Similar name.
They all start with Al. Literally every team starts with Al.
That's amazing.
So wait, so
is it one of Al Ittihad or is it Al Nassr?
No.
So it's neither.
right, okay, so
But we know that they're not a striker.
and haven't played for Chelsea.
And were they a defender?
No.
Okay, so they're either midfielder or a keeper.
We're not meant to work together.
Yeah, I know, but now
we're against you.
It's absolutely shambles. Yeah.
Okay. Who's
They
going?
they are in Saudi, right?
Wait,
That was correct.
whose go is it?
Yours.
Okay. So they don't play for Al Nassr or Al Ittihad. I don't think I know any other Saudi teams. Okay. Has this player... Do they play for Al Hilal?
No.
Has this player played in the Premier League?
Yes.
Has this player played for one of the legacy top 4 teams? So you're talking United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool.
Yes.
Has this person played for one of those teams in the last 5 years?
Not 100% sure about
Well,
that.
you got it on your phone, Morgan.
Let me have a look.
This is amazing. Question 1.
I think we should just turn this into a
Yes.
quiz podcast.
Yes. Okay. But they've not played for Chelsea. So has this person played for Man City? Oh, wait.
Terrible question.
wait. I immediately realised. Man United.
No.
Okay.
So it's played for Arsenal or Liverpool. Has this player played for Liverpool?
Yes.
Ooh.
I have an idea.
Is it Roberto Firmino?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh wait, no. I think this person plays for Al Nassr. Is it Mane?
No.
He does play
Al
for
Nassr.
Al Nassr.
Yeah.
And I think Firmino's Al Hilal.
Yeah, he is.
So a Liverpool player in the last 5 years who's played... Who's in Saudi Arabia? Are they... What were you going to say?
I was going to say, if they've got it wrong where they're currently actually playing in the Premier League, then this would be an absolute shambles.
That is... Well, I can't give you the answer.
Wait, what do you mean? They're not playing in the Premier League now, are they?
One of your first questions are, do they play
Yeah,
in Saudi Arabia?
I know, but as we've
Equally,
learned, you've answered those
we
questions.
asked many questions
wrong.
and you got them wrong.
Well, that one's correct.
Okay. Is this player Gini Wijnaldum?
Yes.
Come on.
Played.
Cheers, mate.
I was going to go Fabinho, so...
I think... Who's he play for? I think he might be Al.
Al Ettifaq.
Wijnaldum is. That's the one that Gerrard was the manager of,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Don't worry, Morgan, I'll tell you. Yeah, it was.
And Jordan Henderson played for. He was really just building a Liverpool 2019 team.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work out very well, did it?
No. Right, okay. And is there one more question? Or is that...
We can do one more if you want.
I think I want...
Let's do it.
Should a team?
So we've got to guess the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll kick us off.
Do you
Do you want me to give... Yeah, we'll give
Yeah.
you a couple of minutes to research, given the...
got
what
the
we've just said.
team wrong. So good.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Is this team... We'll start with the same question. In Europe's top 5 leagues?
Yes.
Okay. Is this team in either Italy, Germany, or Spain?
No.
Is this team in France?
No.
Terrible for me.
Okay. Is this team in the first 6 letters of the alphabet?
No.
So niche.
Dunno.
Could have narrowed it down more.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
Is this team in London?
Yes.
That would be a much better question. Well, that's actually quite useful, though, because with the alphabet and the London, you've binned off Arsenal, Brentford.
This is
Chelsea.
really helping me, by the way. I hadn't even thought of this.
You've built off Arsenal, Palace.
You know we're against each other.
Oh, whatever. We're against him. Arsenal, Brentford, Palace, Chelsea. Spurs is the only one, no?
Fulham as well, we've binned off. Because that's 6 letter of the
Yeah,
alphabet.
yeah.
Okay. Hang on. Don't tell me Spurs are the only one.
I don't think they are. They must
Just
be.
to and Brighton aren't in London. But
No, they're in Sussex.
okay. I'm just trying to think.
They're in Brighton.
Thanks, Morgan. I don't think there is another team. There is another team, and now I've got a 50-50 guess. And I don't know whether to go for Spurs and hope that you don't remember the other team that it could be.
No, I know the other team.
Do you?
West Ham.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go for West Ham.
No.
Is it Tottenham?
Yes.
So we've got
Come on, you Spurs!
a tiebreaker then. We're gonna have to have a tiebreaker.
We can do one more player or one more team.
Player's better, I think.
I mean, he's the one giving us the question, shouldn't he be?
Yeah, you can choose Morgan.
Yeah.
Right.
Turns out the alphabet question was genius when you narrowed it down to London. It cut out almost all of
It's
them.
actually an unbelievable question.
Right. Player this time.
The player. You kick us off. I think I started last time.
Is it really boring to just keep going for Europe's
same.
top 5
I feel like
leagues?
that's how you got to start, but let's change it up. Let's change it up.
Okay. Is this player
Let's go niche questions and see if we can figure out.
from Europe?
As in nationality.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is this player... By the way, just to confirm, are these all, like, current players?
Could be any.
Any player that's ever existed, great. Okay, in which case, Is this player currently playing?
No.
Oh. Okay. Did this player have spiky hair?
I think at one point, yeah.
Oh, 1 point.
How have you fluked a yes on that question? It's a terrible question.
Was this player over 6'4", including 6'4"?
No. What do you mean by was?
Well,
They might have shrunk.
They might have died.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, right, it's me. Has this player played in the Premier League?
No.
Oh, we're struggling.
Yeah,
here. We're
you're on the
absolutely
ropes.
struggling.
I'm not sure you know many players.
Did this player play in Spain?
Yes.
Did they play for one of the top 2 teams? Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Yes.
Did they play midfield?
Yes.
Is it Xavi?
Yes.
Oh, what has just happened?
Just after he said that.
Boom. Thank you very, very much. So easy.
Was it the spiky hair that got it?
It was just...
Do you know what? He is the spiky hair guy, really.
He is, yeah.
That, by the way, is
Thank you.
unbelievable.
Thank you.
That's fair
fire.
play. I don't mind losing to that.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit baffled by what's just happened. It was so quick fire. It's like you knew it was Xavi.
Spiky hair, not that tall, not currently playing, just not in England. Just went for it, mate.
Right. Fair
Strong
play.
play.
Rohan wins. I think I just heard the full-time whistle. Thanks, Morgan. That's all we've
Cheers,
got time
Morgan.
for on the Grassroots Hotline. It's been the first episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, all of that stuff, and we will be back soon with another episode.
Should we have said goodbye?